rebounds is the difference there for Kansas State, getting a few more opportunities. And the difference in the game, 8 made free throws for Oklahoma State compared to 6 made free throws for Kansas State.
So it's the Cowboys in black that have the first possession of the second half. Smart in the first half, 11 points on 4 of 7 shooting. Brown leading Oklahoma State with a dozen. Thomas Gibson leading K-State with 7. Here's Smart. And you can update that now to 13 points for the freshman, but commits a foul, which will be his second.
Yeah, watch the action. Jurek setting 2 screens, opens up Marcus Smart inside, then he goes inside and able to find a spot on the opposite side by Jurek. And the thing about Jurek there, he's a pass-first guy. So Marcus Smart just holds his ground on that block opposite side, waiting for Jurek to look over the top and see him.
Spradling launches a 3. So K-State now 2 of 13 in three-point shooting today.
Yeah, have not shot the ball well out there. And most of the shots have been good looks.
Nash gathers it in the corner. Jurek can't handle it. Over to K-State.
Yeah, lovely possession there. Travis Ford can't say much about it other than let's just get ourselves moving, guys. Get the ball moving a little bit. But Brian Nash really has not been much of a factor in this game so far.
And Nash 1 of 2 from the field, 4 points, with 2 of those coming from the line. Kicked by Murphy. Right back to K-State.
Yeah, one of the things for Oklahoma State that they had to look at halftime as well, their big men that play that 4 and the 5 spot, Murphy, Jurek, and Cobbins combined for 0 points in the first half. Foul trouble for Kamari Murphy with 2 and 3 for Philip Jurek.
Knocked down by McGruder. Just his second field goal of the game. He was 1 for 6 in the first half. Now go for the steal, kept alive by Oklahoma State, and advanced to Brown. He's doubled. Looked like he was going to shoot. Was able to get a pass off to Murphy. Smart. Offensive foul. That's the second foul in this half, and number 3 on Smart, and it comes with 18:22 to go.
Yeah, tough call there for Marcus Smart. We didn't see Gibson help early. Watch McGruder coming off that screen. Gibson a little slide with it and the curl to the paint, exactly where Bruce Weber wants to see Rodney McGruder come. Instead of flaring on that, he knew the defense was trailing him, piggyback on the screen, so he curls, finds an opening in the middle. Oklahoma State did a nice job on McGruder in the first half, but able to find an opening that time. And now Marcus Smart taking a seat with that 3rd foul. Travis Ford doesn't want to pick up a quick 4th, going to let him rest there, get back in the game here pretty quick, I'm sure, once we see what Oklahoma State did.
Away from the ball, an offensive foul on Gibson.
You know, and that's probably a pretty good call, because on that replay, we saw Gibson slide into McGruder's defender. And you get away with that a little bit sometimes, but if they see it the first time, they'll watch it a second time. But no question there, he just went up, got the contact on the Brian Nash.
Second foul on Gibson. Remember, the first was part of that double foul called relatively early in the game.
Gibson's got to be a little smarter than that. At about 6 feet wide, he doesn't have to really move that much.
Pull it up, jumper, short. And Forte runs it down to get it back for Oklahoma State. Then he's trapped in the corner and tied up. Well, the possession arrow comes into play.
Yeah, good pursuit by Phil Forte to get this ball, but watch Kansas State. Smart play here by Angel Rodriguez, keeping Forte in there, and McGruder coming right on him from the backside. Forte, the freshman's got to understand you're going to have that pressure coming.
McGruder scoring off the glass. So after only 1 field goal in the first half, McGruder's picked up 2 already here to begin half number 2, and it's tied at 34.
Maybe a little message at halftime there for Weber to tell McGruder to look a little bit more at the basket, and I think maybe a discussion by the officials at halftime as well to call this one a little tighter here in the second half.
Rodriguez just picked up his second.
Rein in that rough play that we saw in the first half.
Rodriguez out. Irving takes his spot on the floor. Neither team has been able to pull away at all. Oklahoma State's largest lead 4. K-State, you may remember, a 12-2 run they went on in the first half that gave them a 6-point lead. That has been their largest. Murphy. He's a true freshman out of Brooklyn, Kamari Murphy.
Boy, nice job by Murphy. Getting to the basket, one dribble from the top. Defense was late coming from the help side. Really wasn't expecting him to put that ball down on the floor, I think, and taking a long extension for the finish.
Gibson and Jurek. That's been a physical matchup all day. And on the rebound, the foul called on Oklahoma State's Kamari Murphy.
Yeah, watch the action here. Kamari Murphy's man is down inside helping. That's Southwell. He's helping on the slip by Jurek, and then he has to get back. He's too late. Kamari Murphy sees him coming at him out of control, just puts the ball down on the floor, a long extension in the finish.
Irving misses the three. The three ball has not been a friend to K-State in this game.
Now, both teams talked about the power of rebounding in this game, which team was going to be able to get the most boards.
And Nash picks up the offensive foul.
No reason for that for LeBron Nash. That's just an overreaction there. Feels the defense on him, doesn't really like it. Just a little shove down with the shoulder, and nice job by Will Spradling sliding his feet.
Second on Nash. So you have Murphy with three, Jurek with three, Smart with three for Oklahoma State, and Forte creating the steal, knocking it free. Nice adjustment, and there to clean up was Murphy after the miss by Nash.
Oklahoma State would like to see more opportunities like that. Nothing like a transition bucket to beat a half-court defense that's been solid for Kansas State. Oklahoma State now 12 transition points in this game.
Jumper from the baseline goes for McGruder. No question, Chris, we're seeing a more offensively aggressive McGruder in this second half.
Yeah, how about that play, Mark? Just a big hop over the top, little floater on the baseline. Solid play.
It bounces to Jurek, but there's McGruder to steal, go the other way. Foul. K-State wants the flagrant, but not getting it.
Yeah, that's good play on the ball.
But McGruder by 2, 15:28 to play in the second half from Bramlage Coliseum. And Rodney McGruder, only one field goal, Chris, in the first 20 minutes, but here in the first 3.5 or so of the second half, already has 3.
He's been great here in the second half. Look at the field goal numbers. 1 for 6, 0 for 4 from 3 was Rodney McGruder here in the second half. More assertive, attacking the basket, doing a better job of reading what the defense has been doing. Nice looks at the basket. Tough guarded shot the last time as well. Baseline had to go over the top.
This is the first free throw on that last sequence. Kamari Murphy picked up his 4th foul for Oklahoma State, so he's the first player on either side with 4 fouls in this game.
As physical as this game has been, I think we're going to be talking a lot about fouls as it goes down the stretch.
Big 12 opener between two ranked teams. 3, Forte. Offside rebound to the outlet by McGruder. Skip deflected. How about that adjustment? And finished by Rodney McGruder. The ball hit 3 sets of hands.
And when it's going well, things go your way, and sticking around the basket as well. Good things are bound to happen.
Wildcats reclaim the lead and nearly reclaim possession there. Brown advances it, takes it to the rim, scores, and is fouled by Jordan Enriquez.
Now Kansas State trying to run a little bit in this transition, seeing Jordan Enriquez throw the ball up. It deflects off the basket. Look who's there, Mr. McGruder. Following up. And that's what I love about a guy like McGruder, senior. He's just sticking with the play. Not just saying, oh, wait a minute, Enriquez is going to get it one. I'm just going to keep going, maybe get something else. Gets it off the glass.
In for Brown, who with Marcus Smart on the bench with 3 fouls, I would assume Chris becomes an even more focal point offensively for Oklahoma State.
Markel Brown now getting an assignment on McGruder. Think about Oklahoma State right now. You've got to know where McGruder's at. Everybody on the floor. Can't just guard him with one.
Williams gets his own miss. Williams will put it up. It's a long two, and it ties it at 41.
And Nino Williams really having a nice season for Kansas State. Redshirted that first year, had a couple multiple concussions, and last year never really gotten a swing of things with a sprained MCL, but this season has had some really good minutes for Bruce Weber.
Jurek set the screen. Brown spinning from 15, swish.
Now tough play by Markel Brown. He's spinning up top, looking for an opening. Angel Rodriguez there every time he spins.
Rodriguez nearly got that to go.
Markel Brown taking it in his hands right now. Look at Angel Rodriguez. Kicks him on the right hand, stops him on the left hand side. And Markel Brown says, I'll just spin back again, throw a little right hand jump hook on you. But Angel Rodriguez gets the last laugh because he pushes the ball down the floor, attacks Jurek inside, and I think that he picked up his fourth foul, didn't he?
Yeah, that would be 4. Jurek.
Yeah, that's a tough loss for Oklahoma State because Jurek does all those little things for you. That drive previous that Markel Brown got all the way to the basket, it was Philip Jurek that pinned Jordan Enriquez behind him to allow Markel Brown to get to the basket. So now Jurek sitting on the bench with 4 fouls. Going to need to have some good minutes by Michael Cobbins coming back in for him.
Back rim miss, but an Enriquez rebound. Wide open. McGruder says, I'll take that and knock it down. Back and forth we go at Bramlage Coliseum in this Big 12 opener. Smart fouled. Smart back on the floor after sitting with his 3rd foul that he picked up early in this half.
How many times do you see little plays be the difference in an offensive rebound on a missed free throw? Bad sorting job by Oklahoma State figuring out who's guarding who. And I'll tell you what, I think one rule for Oklahoma State defense is guard McGruder. I mean, that would be the guy that I would be yelling at, pointing at. He's open, go get him. Rodney McGruder having a great second half here for Kansas State.
At 2 points at the break, he's up to 14, so a dozen second half points already with the 13:06 mark for McGruder. Smart with the free throw. Tied at 45. Jurek and Murphy each with 4 fouls for Oklahoma State. Enriquez and Rodriguez each have 3 for Kansas State, and that's kicked.
Well, I like that recognition last time down by Oklahoma State, Mark. They had saw that Angel Rodriguez is guarding Marcus Smart, so they just took Marcus Smart and put him on the block, post him up.
Nice when you have a guy with that kind of versatility.
Yeah, he can go all over the floor. Travis Ford wanted to see Marcus Smart be more assertive as well when he catches the ball down there on the post. Look to score. Not just look to be a passer out of that post position. Zone look again here by Oklahoma State.
Is he still feeling it? You bet.
Well, there's the gamble by Travis Ford. You go zone, your guys have to communicate where McGruder is. Nice balance and patience by Kansas State, moving that defense side to side, letting McGruder get to his spot.
16 for McGruder, 14 already in the second half. Floated up by Forte, well off the left side. Rodriguez runs out. Wants to take it to the rim. A tough shot, but the finish and the foul. Nino Williams.
Kansas State right now just wanting a little more than Oklahoma State. LeBron Nash kind of jogging back, never got himself into play, and Nino Williams following and attacking. And that's what you have to, that was kind of the question mark that I had for this Oklahoma State team, Mark, is going on the road. You've got to be able to create your own energy. Things go bad. LeBron Nash really hadn't had the game that maybe he's wanted. He can't look for the crowd to get him going. He's on the road. He's got to get himself going. Not just a hustle play there.
10-2 run now for K-State in the last minute and a half. They forgot about Brown. Block, no foul. 6-point lead for K-State. Equals their largest of the game.
Well, difference in the second half has been defensive end for Oklahoma State. First half, everywhere you saw Kansas State going, they were getting chucked. The rhythm was off, getting knocked around. Here in the second half, Kansas State running anything they want.
Irving short. That's a big stop for Oklahoma State, Chris. This was the first time you really got a feel that a team was going to create some separation. And Oklahoma State trying to answer the foul, stops it with 11:23 to play in this second half. But this second half has belonged to the K-State senior, Rodney McGruder. McGruder was 1 of 6 in the first half, 6 of 6 from the field here in the second half. He has 17 points. Let's take a look at our USAA game summary. The 6-point lead for the Cats.
Well, it didn't take long for McGruder to get rolling again here in the second half. Struggle in that first half. Oklahoma State was really, their first half was all about Marcus Smart. Picked up his second and third foul in the first minute and a half here in the second half. But Kansas State getting great production off their bench, 19 points. Oklahoma State foul trouble with their big man again here in the second half. Jurek on the bench with 4. Amari Murphy on the bench with 4.
Smart, who's playing with 3 fouls, knocks down the first of 2 free throws.
Oklahoma State does not have a deep bench, really playing 8 guys. Foul trouble could be a tough one for them to overcome.
Folks reduce it to a 4-point deficit. I think McGruder needs a touch on this possession.
Yeah, Markel Brown really shadowing him right now. Really concerned with anybody else on the floor other than McGruder.
11 minutes to play here in the Big 12 opener. Irving from the baseline, in and out. McGruder going after the rebound. Had a hand on it, but it's out to Oklahoma State.
Better defensive possession there by Oklahoma State, but still Kansas State able to run what they wanted. Got a good look at the bell or the basket. Had a couple guys on the offensive glass, just couldn't come up with it. So Oklahoma State needs to dig down a little bit.
Smart taking it to the rim and scoring.
Wow. How many is that now that we've seen Oklahoma State drive all the way from outside the 3 to the basket? No help defense sliding for Kansas State.
It gets Gibson to the scorer's table for Kansas State. McGruder, his first shot miss of the second half. One and done that time for the Cats after the rebound by Brown. Brown way off. Out to Kansas State.
Returning for Kansas State, 42.
So while you're in Kansas City for the Big 12 tournament, join us for the Big 12 5K Fun Run and Family Stroll. It's Saturday, March 16th. It'll be fun for the whole family. Prizes and trophies for overall and age groups awarded. For registration, go to kcbig12run.com. It's about midway through this second half. What we expected, a tight one between 2 ranked teams, 8 ties, 12 lead changes. Williams adjusting underneath, will shoot 2. McGruder overshadowing Nino Williams, but Williams has had a pretty nice second half as well for K-State after Nash picks up his 3rd. That number 4 on Nash.
Yeah, that's something that Oklahoma State worked on yesterday, is that down screen by the big, the curl by McGruder coming into lane, and in the big release into the basket, which in this case is Nino Williams. They're just not getting the movement. LeBron Nash doing a lot of standing right now for Oklahoma State. And I tell you what, the one way to get yourself in foul trouble is not move your feet. Get yourself out of position. That's when you pick up the fouls. And LeBron Nash taking a seat with the other guys with 4 fouls, although Kamari Murphy back in the game with his 4 fouls.
Jurek is the other one with 4 who's sitting. Oklahoma State down by 4 with the ball. Smart creates space to shoot a 3 and drains it. That's just silly.
He's a space creator, isn't he? I mean, all he's got to do is get a little contact on you and you're going to fall. Nice step back, and he continues to add that ability to knock shots down from the outside.
McGruder dumps it down low, and Williams still got it over the hands of Smart.
A great recognition by McGruder. Going up, he thinks, got everybody on the floor thinking he's going for the shot, which he was. He's going up, he recognizes up in the air, he's pulled the double team from the opposite side. That means somebody's got to be open in the dump off.
Oh, that's a foul on Gibson, his third.
They watch the screen up top here by Cobbins. Marcus Smart sees the big help by Gibson, goes back the other way. The nice stop, pop, sit back, and ready to score. And then McGruder, nice recognition, feeling the double team rather than force it, gets the shot or gets the pass over.
Rodriguez the steal. Williams there to clean it up. Well, two Oklahoma State players kind of looking at each other at midcourt. Rodriguez picked it up, and it turns into 2 for the Wildcats, who lead by 5.
And again, another hustle play by Kansas State on the offensive glass. Oklahoma State really beaten by Gonzaga on the offensive glass, and Kansas State doing that here this afternoon.
Murphy maybe had expected more contact, and then Smart collides with Gibson at midcourt. It's Smart slow to get up, but does so behind the play. McGruder in and out. And a rebound pulled down by Cobbins. Nice feed and a foul. Physical play from end to end.
A good help by Kansas State getting down the floor. Nino Williams just sticking right with it. And Oklahoma State in transition opportunities like that a couple of times have forgotten that the play is still going. And Kansas State has not forgotten. They've attacked the glass and finished, and Shane Southwell getting fired up on that bench for Kansas State.
We've gotten conference playoff. An explosive start here at Bramlage Coliseum between these two ranked teams. Free throw by Murphy, making it a 4-point game. But Oklahoma State, 3 players with 4 fouls: Nash, Jurek, and Murphy. Then you have Smart, who picked up 2 quick ones early in this second half to get the 3.
And Travis Ford giving Marcus Smart a seat on the bench right now. We've got a timeout coming up here in about 12 seconds, and a dead ball situation after that. She's going to have to massage that bench rotation right now to figure out a way to get through the rest of these 8 minutes.
Smart has a game-high 22 points.
Tell you what, for Oklahoma State and the foul trouble that they had, McGruder being hot here in the second half, you got to be happy you're only down by 3.
They have weathered it pretty well, haven't they? Gibson will go to work on Cobbins. Touch shot from the left hand, really getting up there with the big arc.
Nothing Cobbins can do if you're going to allow Gibson to be one-on-one down in the post. That size, that strength, he sets up that left-hand jump hook. Good high release. It's going to be tough to stop.
Rodriguez picks up a foul, but Gibson going to work down low using that width. 7:36 to play in a 5-point game. And it's a 7:36 to go here from Bramlage Coliseum in Manhattan, Kansas. The Big 12 opener between 2 ranked teams, and it's a 5-point lead. The 25th ranked Kansas State here on their home floor. And Smart playing with 3 fouls. 3 Pokes have 4 fouls. And just at the end of that last sequence before the break, Rodriguez picked up his 4th for Kansas State. And after the 8th K-State team foul, the 1-and-1, the front end hit by Forte.
Oklahoma State's done a nice job of getting to the line and then capitalizing at the line. 16 of 20 right now for Oklahoma State. Phil Forte, a better shooter than that, but he has just not had open looks against this Kansas State defense. K-State's done a great job of knowing where he's at on the floor, not over-helping off of him. A little 1-2-2 show by Oklahoma State, getting back into man. Just trying to, again, mix things up a little bit for Kansas State.
9 on the shot clock. Spradling with 5 to shoot. McGruder from 3. What a second half McGruder is having. 17 second half points.
Well, his ability to elevate on the shot, I mean, he just is immediately off the floor. Kamari Murphy's got to have more pressure on that. You know he's got nowhere to go other than shoot the 3, but Rodney McGruder, great confidence right now.
Murphy's pass over the top was deflected. And K-State steal. McGruder began the game 1 for 6. 8 for 15 now after the Williams miss. It stays a 4-point K-State lead.
Well, he's had a totally different look about him here in the second half, but also he's been able to get looks. I think Oklahoma State defense, because of the foul trouble, not quite as physical on those screens, helping off, bodying up on him.
Jurek's first field goal attempt of the game is well wide right.
Jurek just has not developed that confidence down in the post to be a scorer. Isolated right down there. Kansas State was going to let him go ahead and play one-on-one. He played into their hands, just lost that one coming off his hand.
Nash has come to the scorers table for Oklahoma State with 4 fouls, and Weber will use a timeout, leaving K-State with 2 left. Well, K-State in this Big 12 opener at home, leading by 4, and we'll be right back after this message from your friends at Phillips 66. Just over 5.5 minutes to play, and a 6-point lead for K-State. Well, as the name might suggest, Phillips 66 is the proud sponsor of the Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Basketball Championship. Both start with Phillips 66, and both stand for performance. Phillips 66, experts in gas since 1927. It has been a great Big 12 opener. Mark Neely along with Chris Piper. 2 ranked teams opening up conference play. K-State with the ball and a 6-point lead.
Marcus Smart in the first half for Oklahoma State. Rodney McGruder in the second half for Kansas State.
Gibson has to put it up with 1 on the shot clock. It hit the heel of the rim, but rebounded by Oklahoma State's Markel Brown. Brown flips it up and will shoot 2. K-State at the other end, though, Chris, got caught up in the shot clock a little bit there.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they were really looking to drive and pitch to Gibson out away from the basket that time, but that's what they ended up with. Nice play by Markel Brown coming down the floor, setting up the right-hand spin, and actually went back to the left hand up in the air. Of course, when you're able to float as long as Markel Brown does in the air, you can do lots of things.
Well, he's dropped in 18 points now. 3 of 3 from the line today. 50% shooting from the field. Oklahoma State cuts this back to 4 points. Forte defending Spradling up the floor. Williams with a nice speed to find McGruder. Those have really been the 2 guys for K-State in this half, Williams and McGruder.
Well, you get the ball to the middle of the floor, good things are going to happen, but the Oklahoma State defensive intensity here in the second half just hadn't been what it was in the first half.
Dash playing with 4 fouls, spot up jumper missed, Jurek tip. McGruder given space in the corner by Brown.
Don't give him too much space out there. He'll rise up on you and shoot that.
8 to shoot. Spradling saw a little crease. The floater tried to kiss it, tipped by Gibson, but he was over the back of Smart. And Gibson just picked up his 4th.
Look at the Oklahoma State defense. LeBron Nash coming out to double team and everybody else down low. Nino Williams, smart move just to come to the high post. And just not enough defensive intensity by Oklahoma State to be able to do that little run and jump. LeBron Nash coming out with his hands down to his side. Will Spradling, smart player, able to just throw right over the top to Nino Williams. And once that ball goes to the high post in a half-court trap situation like that, defense is beat.
Smart gets it to go. Enriquez will come in for Gibson, who's out with 4 fouls. It's been interesting to feel this crowd here. They've been very energetic, but the last couple minutes, Chris, you almost get the sense that they're kind of preserving their energy because they know it's going to come down to the final minute or so.
Yeah, I think it might come down to which guys are left standing on the floor, because how many do we have in foul trouble right now? Both teams almost. Oklahoma State, though, has done a pretty good job of working around that foul trouble, sticking around. The guy you do not want to have your 4th foul on is the guy defending Martavius Irving right now, Marcus Smart. It's so important for him to be on the floor for the Cowboys.
4 minutes to go in this Big 12 opener. Oklahoma, West Virginia comes up at 3 o'clock Central Time. Next on the Big 12 Network. Irving. 5 to shoot. Partially blocked. Now we may have this changed. It was last touched by Oklahoma State. The official here on the sideline. And they are going to give it to Oklahoma State. So 3:40 to go. Don't go anywhere in a 4-point game for Manhattan. Hey, Doug, thanks. This K-State team will be in Morgantown next Saturday on the Big 12 Network. An interesting matchup with Bob Huggins' Mountaineers playing Huggins' old team, the Wildcats. And right here in this Big 12 opener on this Saturday, the kickoff Saturday, a 4-point game in favor of 25th ranked K-State, 22nd ranked Oklahoma State with the ball. Nash with 4 fouls, shooting over Williams. Good.
Yeah, LeBron Nash, nice post up there. He's got to quit worrying about the officials, though. He's been complaining about a foul call every time. I think it's gotten his head a little bit, but nice for him to step up and make a play for Oklahoma State down the stretch here. K-State did a great job of taking Marcus Smart out of the play. They were trying to post him up, Oklahoma State was, and got 2 guys down there shadowing Marcus Smart.
Open 3 for Irving, a little flat, a little long. It's tipped. Who touched it last? They say Smart did, but Smart's pointing at McGruder. And it will be K-State ball.
Well, we've seen Travis Ford put Marcus Smart down in the post when he's got a smaller guard on him. Look at Kansas State, though. They've got McGruder kind of shadowing around Martavius Irving as well. And then Irving just keeping his body. His job that whole possession was Marcus Smart.
So a fresh shot clock for K-State and just 2:46 to go. Rodriguez, who's playing with 4 fouls, throwing it to midcourt, and that jump ball, and Forte came away with it, and a foul on Spradling. Big play there with Oklahoma State only down 2.
Well, how about the freshman Phil Forte just getting his body in there and battling. It's just got a jump ball more than anything. Kansas State crowd wanted a foul on the jump ball, but Will Spradling grabbing him afterwards.
Well, Phil, his dad, there's his dad, Phil Forte Sr., was a football player at Kansas in the early 80s.
He's happy with that little blocking play there.
Showed a little football mentality out there.
Phil Forte and Marcus Smart picking up in 3rd grade. AAU team, been great friends ever since. Came together to Oklahoma State, and Phil Forte gives Oklahoma State a couple big fast points there.
Well, for K-State, they were up 64-58 with about 4.5 minutes to go, and they have seen that lead evaporate. Tied with 2.5 minutes to go. Enriquez facing up. Nash was out of bounds.
We saw defense by Cobbins that time on Enriquez. It was a nice move by Enriquez, squaring up to the basket and trying to go around him.
McGruder's open. He's hit these all half and continues to do so. He is 9 of 11 from the field in the second half.
What big mistake there, Angel Rodriguez. Another mistake on the defensive end, though, by Oklahoma State. Watch Markel Brown. He goes underneath the screen, and Rodney McGruder curls it a little bit, and that's a wide open three.
But as you mentioned, Rodriguez just fouled out.
I don't know what he was thinking. That situation, you're up by 3. Last thing you want to do is foul, especially when it's your 5th foul. But Angel Rodriguez, give him credit, coming off an injury, 100%. He's been battling up in the face of the Oklahoma State guards defensively, but that was not a smart play by the sophomore.
And 3 points for Rodriguez, all from the line, so missed on all 5 of his field goal attempts today.
See Markel Brown, he's thinking that Rodney McGruder's going to the baseline. Instead, McGruder reads the piggyback, and there's Angel Rodriguez. I'm not sure what he was thinking he was going to do there with Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart's not a guy I want to stick my arms in between him and the ball.
Rodriguez did have 7 assists, just 2 turnovers. Smart set a career high with 23 points in their last game against Gonzaga. He has bettered that here today. So a new career high for the freshman. He is short with the second free throw. We have 10 team fouls against K-State, 8 for Oklahoma State. So keep that in mind as we hit the last 2 minutes in a 2-point game.
We'll see if Rodney McGruder can get the ball. Give him touches.
McGruder looking to go to work on Nash, who's defending him with 4 fouls. He puts it up. McGruder has been unconscious in the second half.
Not only that, Mark, but it's a fantastic read by McGruder. His man goes over the top of the screen, so he flares. Watch this down screen over on the right-hand side, and watch the great read by Rodney McGruder. Look, if he's coming off the screen, LeBron Nash, he goes over the top of the screen. Exactly what Travis Ford told his guys not to do. If that screen's high, they're going to flare to the corner, and that's what McGruder did. Just fade to the corner.
Rodney McGruder has a season-high 28 points, 26 in the second half.
And all about finding open spots on the floor, and Rodney McGruder doing a great job of just movement. You heard Bruce Weber in the first half yelling, move, move, move. Well, Rodney McGruder's been doing that here in the second half, finding shots from the outside. Good ball movement by Kansas State. You got to get the ball in his hands, look to him, and Rodney McGruder has stepped up huge here in the second half for Kansas State.
Look at the reset. Possession arrow favors the Cowboys. Oklahoma State already in the double bonus. 3 timeouts left for Oklahoma State, a couple for K-State. Look at the numbers from the first half compared to the second half. It has been night and day for the senior from Washington, D.C., Rodney McGruder.
How about that? 26 points in the second half alone.
Came in averaging a team-high 14 per game. Big possession for the Cowboys. Nash over Williams with a fadeaway that's short, and a Williams rebound.
Well, great job by Nino Williams on the post. LeBron Nash trying to back him in, holding his ground, and then releasing and going to get that ball. Oklahoma State working on in-the-game situation yesterday. Play defense this shot clock, see if they can come away with one. Got to know where McGruder's at.
McGruder lost it, but there was Gibson, who has his own miss. And now the shot clock is off, and Oklahoma State has to foul, and Forte does so with just under 29 seconds remaining.
How strong has Gibson been this game? Didn't start off the season starting. They had Jordan Enriquez in the post. Enriquez wasn't getting it done. Moved Gibson in there. Gibson has been a big factor here this afternoon, and Enriquez off the bench has done a nice job, I think, kind of figuring things out.
And this on the free throw. Now Oklahoma State down 5. Smart launches a 3. It's short, and there's Spradling with the rebound. The foul committed by Brown with 20 seconds to go. Let's take a look at our 6th man of the game, brought to you by Motel 6, and Nino Williams off the bench with 15 points and 4 rebounds.
Yeah, Nino Williams played down the road at Leavenworth High School, and he has been tremendous. Didn't get a whole lot of opportunities first couple seasons due to injuries, and he is stepping up and playing great. Great hustle, doing the little things, both on the defensive end, the glass, offensively.
Don't forget Oklahoma, West Virginia coming up at 3 o'clock Central Time here on the Big 12 Network. Nash forces the 3, needs the 3, can't get it. Spradling rebound, 11 seconds. A pass that Forte can't steal, but McGruder. And there's Williams, and it's been those 2 in the second half for K-State.
Well, that's the way it should end for Kansas State.
3,
McGruder and Williams.
Forte, that's in. That will count, but that's going to do it. 73-67. K-State wins this battle of ranked teams in the conference opener, and what a battle it was. What a game. Well, at the half, Oklahoma State had a 2-point lead, but at some point, Chris Piper, in that locker room at the half, McGruder woke up, and he was a force in the second half.
Well, I'm not sure Bruce Weber had to tell him a lot. And McGruder is senior. He's been there. He's the guy for Kansas State. But Kansas State also found him. And let's not forget about Nino Williams, Jordan Enriquez, all those guys stepping up. A huge second half for Kansas State.
So Kansas State wins it over Oklahoma State by a final of 73-67 in this Big 12 opener. Oklahoma, West Virginia coming up next. Thanks so much for sharing this one with us. Now let's send it to the studio.